The Dynasty Warriors series has been popular with the fans for over 20 years. And after their recent collaboration with Nintendo on some of their spin-offs, Hyrule Warriors, great game by the way, and Fire Emblem Warriors, KOEI Tecmo re-released their popular Dynasty Warriors 8, including the Extreme Legends expansion and all of its available DLC, into a definitive edition for the Nintendo Switch. Something that has become sort of the modus operandi for many great AAA games. KOEI Tecmo sent me over this review copy for me to check out, and so far I've put in well over 50 hours into this game, and I can promise you that you're in for a hell of a show today. And I do have a new Nintendo Switch game giveaway. In my last video I had a look at Blue Rider, be sure to check that one out and enter the giveaway down in the description below to earn yourself a free copy of that game. And thanks to my good friend Yun Long, all my subscribers over in China now have the option of turning on the Chinese subtitles by tapping that CC button down below. So strap yourself in, sit back and relax, don't forget to hit that like button before you leave, and enjoy my review for Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch. The Dynasty Warriors series portrays the Three Kingdoms, or Romans of the Three Kingdoms. A chronicle of one of the bloodiest periods in a turbulent China spanning over 60 years, set between 220 and 280 AD, which started with the fall of the Han Dynasty. During this time, three states were competing for dominion over China: Wei, Wu and Shu, the latter of which became Luo Guanzhong's point of departure whilst writing his epic historical, though highly romanticized novel. Through his eyes, we follow the adventures and misfortunes of protagonist Liu Bei and his sworn brothers Guang Yu and Zhang Fei as they battle their way across the country in an effort to reunite China and reinstate Han rule. This last fact, however, is quite easily forgotten once you start hacking and slashing your way through the game. On the surface, Dynasty Warriors 8 is just another title in this series, but really this game does stand out in many ways. First off, there's the option of following Lu Bu throughout his own storyline. To me, Lu Bu is one of the most self-destructive characters in the book who, spoiler alert, sadly doesn't make it beyond the first volume, but I have always been enamored by his combat skills, at some point even fighting off all three sworn Shu brothers. Playing through his own storyline was exhilarating, either using Lu Bu himself, one of his disciples, or his daughter Lu Lingqi, who in fact is based on his historical daughter, even though she does go unnamed throughout the entirety of the book. His campaign offers by far some of the most engaging fights in the game, and his combat skills are just awesome. The last few battles I fought with him lasted for over 40 minutes of constant navigation, orientation, saving here, fighting there, while at the same time continuously advancing towards the final boss. On a scripting level, I have nothing but praise, as a game like this is at constant risk of quickly falling into a chaos of hack and slash, but with this level of scripting, the game becomes so much more and really connects to the events as chronicled in the book and manages to engage the player to keep coming back for more. Another new aspect of this entry into this series is the inclusion of hypothetical storyline endings. What would it have meant for the chaotic plains of China if Lu Bu was not seized, but instead had won that fated battle? How would the future of China have looked like if Guang Yu and Zhang Fei weren't betrayed? By fulfilling the conditions as set for various battles in the story mode, additional side quests get added and eventually the alternative storyline endings become available. Apart from the main story, Dynasty Warriors 8 comes with a brand new ambition mode in which you are poised to carve out your own kingdom by winning the favor of the Emperor. You do all of this by fighting different kinds of battles. In some of these, you fight famous generals to win them over to your faction. In others, you come to the aid of your officers and innocent bystanders to gain fame. And then there are battles in which you gather materials required for the expansion of your camp. If you manage to survive the first battle and still have enough time remaining on the clock, you can choose to go into the next fight for additional rewards, and so on. When you feel you've had enough, or if you eventually lose, you will be returned to your camp where you can see all of your facilities and a selection of your followers. Level up the facilities to gain additional benefits and to start building your empire. Before you head into battle, you can customize your hero to wield 2 weapons of your choice, clothing to match, slap on some battle skills which can be leveled up during the fighting, and you can take an exotic animal with you into battle, which can be swapped out during the actual fighting, like the war elephant, Bengal tiger, a falcon, panda, or a divine fox, for example. You can even change the outfits for your enemies and allies. One of the best things in this mode is the bodyguard system. Not the first in the series, but by far the most advanced. Choose up to 3 of the defeated generals to fight at your side and keep you safe. There are 816 officers which can be won over. In battle, you can give them orders to guard you, to defend a position, to fight off nearby foes, or use their unique battle skill. For example, Guang Yu can set fire to a place of your choosing, which greatly helps out, as you can see here. You can even sacrifice some officers to level up these battle skills of your favorites, and once done, defeat them in battle once more to add them back to your roster. The challenge mode adds some additional ways of playing through various scenarios, all of which are good modes to get familiar with the game and are a good deal of fun of playing together with a friend. The game runs surprisingly well in 2-player co-op, having battled through the ambition mode as well as running through several of these challenges, including the arena where you take on famous generals, the rampage mode, and the bridge melee. And just like in the ambition mode, where the player's strength gets amplified by surrounding bodyguards, when standing close to the other player, both get a boosted attack power and some additional lighting effects to boot. In the free mode, you can replay any of the unlocked story parts without their historical constraints, alone or with a friend, including the option of taking along your bodyguards and animals. This is a good place to test any of your generals, as each fighter is unique. Some are better equipped to hold off hordes of enemies, while others are more skilled in one-on-one combat. Zhou Yun, for example, is one of my favorite picks when taking on a single opponent, while someone like Lu Bu, Dian Wei or Wei Yan is more apt at defeating hundreds of enemies within seconds.
I'm here to offer my help, and I'm not giving you the option of declining.
It takes some time mastering each character, as their attacks vary wildly, and for every defeated enemy, your Musu gauge fills up, which, when full, allows you to launch any of the various Musu attacks. To top it all off, there is a rage gauge, which greatly increases your statistics for a brief period of time. New in the series is the weapon triangle system of Heaven, Earth and Man, which further allows you to launch a storm rush attack when you are at a weapon advantage. The gallery shows off the bulk of the game's content, presenting beautifully drawn artwork, which can be set as backgrounds during the loading screens, 3D models of all of the characters, animals and weapons. You can relive the unlocked events and movies from the storylines, listen to their voices, show off all of the animations from walking all the way up to a Musu attack, and check out their facial expressions. For the history buff wanting to read up on the backstory, or for those who have missed out on the book, there is the encyclopedia, which can be consulted on just about any event during this time frame. From the initial Yellow Turban Rebellion all the way to the collapse of the Wu faction, it is all here. Every major battle, state and historical character are aptly detailed and offer a nice break from all the fighting. In terms of sound, there is little to complain about, as we are overwhelmed by some outstanding voice acting, weapon and other sound effects, and a wide selection of music tracks which can be customized during the loading of a battle. There is an option for Japanese voices, although to me, playing Dynasty Warriors, a Chinese-focused game with Japanese voices, just feels odd. Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Edition is one of those games which just get better and better as you put in more and more time and effort. The story mode alone offers hundreds of hours of gameplay, not to mention the ambition mode and additional challenges. KOEI Tecmo has even worked in a weapon triangle system which works rather well, and that together with the weapon crafting and fusion and the carrying over of character statistics between the various gameplay modes is really neat. I am pretty much blown away by how well it performs on the Nintendo Switch, specifically in the co-op tabletop mode. I mean, having the Nintendo Switch set up in tabletop mode whilst passing on a Joy-Con will have you fighting alongside each other without the slightest of effort. Apart from wanting to have an online multiplayer option, there's little to complain about really, and I definitely recommend getting this game. It's available for just under $40 which is not bad at all considering its age and sheer amount of content it packs. Now on a side note, if you're interested in grabbing a copy of the book for yourself, be sure to order the unabridged version edited by Mose Roberts to enjoy the story in all of its historical accuracy and literary richness. I've put in a link to this book in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching today. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to enter that Blue Rider giveaway, and I will see you next time.